Hello everyone, welcome to my final presentation on course content about techniques for learners in post-pandemic world. I'm also calling it the elephant path. It is CS6460 education technology course content. For this content, I started with researching and preparing for a set of academic papers that I can use to support the final presentation. I've started with investigating around 60 plus academic papers on research around improving student performance. Some of these papers were actually PhD dissertations and master's thesis. These studies came from different areas in academia, such as psychology, engineering, and medicine. I focused on results from different age groups and different techniques. Finally, I synthesized all findings to determine the key areas that truly help students. Here is a problem statement. Majority of at-risk students face difficulty in learning, retaining and applying materials presented quickly due to the lack of knowledge about efficient ways to learn the subject being presented, which results in either average or below average performance in assignments and statewide assessments. For this project, I am mainly focusing on helping at-risk students, and they will be the target audience for it. Elaborating further on the problem statement, we can see that there has been recent research that links at-risk student performance to anxiety, stress, and depression, along with some evidence presented on positive effects of mindfulness, study tools, and life techniques. It can be hypothesized that educating at-risk students with content preparing them to apply such structured techniques would help them. Do we have an evidence for this? Yes. According to one study in North Carolina, high school students who were considered at risk were helped by mindfulness and yoga practices. And they, with an about 8-week program, they were able to improve their grades. Several other studies also talk about mindfulness practices, acceptance and commitment therapy, etc. There are several solutions available right now for students who want to improve their skills, such as a couple of Coursera courses. There are YouTube Pomodoro sessions, and there are TED Talks on mindfulness where they speak about how mindfulness introduced in school could be very helpful to students. All of these give pretty good tools to students to get started with good study program. The solution I am proposing is a series of video content that derives its ideas from academic research work. It also has a mindfulness trainer video. It has discussion of relevant research work and how one can apply it. The content trains and motivates one to create their own intervention for improving performance. Also, I have interviews that help the students understand these concepts. I also took a class survey before producing all of these videos, and the survey helped me establish the need for creating such content. I got about 56 responses, and each one of them gave a good idea about if they would be interested in learning better techniques or not. There are 6 modules in my presentation. As you see, it has an acronym of README, first recognizing, then explaining the reasons, then addressing the issues by methods. Later, I talk about deploying methods. Fifth module is a summarization of the previous 4 modules, and the sixth module is the interviews that I conducted. The very first module has 4 submodules in which the first submodule talks about how education landscape has changed over the last 12 months and how certain techniques are really needed. Second module talks about realistic view of the career and dependency on education. And if you move on to module 2, basically I speak about how well-being starts with health and diet, and then second submodule is understanding stress and anxiety, leading up to a discussion on self-regulated learning techniques proposed by education psychologists over the years. This module goes in details about statistical findings on why health is important. Module 3 is addressing the issues by using the methods and interventions, and it has three submodules. First of all, I go on and introduce secular mindfulness, and then I talk about self regulation along with acceptance and commitment therapy. Later, I speak about the narratives of experiments and the results from the previous two submodules, and I explain the findings from them. Module 4 is about deploying these methods and measuring effectiveness of the solution. It has six total submodules where I talk about setting intentions and goals, using mindfulness intervention with the Pomodoro, studying with right tools and techniques, keeping and staying off of distractions. And then later, I have about half an hour of yoga and stretching video, which can be used as mini breaks throughout the day. Module 5 is about monitoring effects and resetting for a new cycle of tailored intervention, which basically asks students to observe their grades and how they feel about the study overall, then how they can adjust parameters and make their environment more supportive of their education. And then last submodule talks about creating your own intervention where someone can create a perfect environment for study. Module 6 is about excerpts from interviews of high scoring individuals on their study habits. It has about 63 minutes of excerpts, and I have about 10 of the interviewees talking about their life and their goals and how they were supported by good methods. I also built a 3D concept video for mindfulness trainer using pedagogies around meditation, Pomodoro, and self-regulation. I've named it the Mindfulness Donut. The video acts as a tool to help one concentrate and learn to be mindful. This video lasts for an hour and consists of two study sessions that one can use to train themselves in meditation and mindfulness. Here, the viewer is asked to practice focus for 4 minutes and study for 24 minutes, twice before taking a break for about 4 minutes. In this video, every 4 minutes, I remind students to stay engaged. Most of this work was created in a home studio. I created an inexpensive green wall and used a desk lamp to diffuse the light in proper way. I used existing microphones, camera, headphone sets along with finding good music that accompanies each of the lessons. I recorded some nature sounds, birds chirping and streams flowing, and added them as a part of videos we discussed earlier. The final state of project is a series of 20 videos. From the past survey post-production, I received some encouraging words from our classmates. I found that there are some good directions on improving the upcoming iterations. I got some good insights from some of the volunteers outside of Georgia Tech on making future videos sound more entertaining. There is a great possibility of research work using this content, as this content could be used by many schools or colleges across the country to help students bring a proper structure in their lives in the post pandemic world, when the majority of students are learning remotely. It's very necessary that they are able to organize their work and their time so that they can lead a healthy life while scoring well in their exams and assessments. The research can utilize video modules along with the mindfulness trainer sessions. Since this work was built with at-risk students as target audience, the research may be conducted more in a self-reported manner. The research can answer many questions such as does the use of pedagogies help students improve their grades? Does it help them with more abstract thinking or problem solving or literature or arts? Does it continue use of techniques and ideas mindful trainers help the students achieve better school life balance, etc.? I hope you enjoyed the presentation that may help the future researchers in this domain. Thank you.